Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DELCO Cross Country Podcast. It is the month of September, which means regular season cross country is finally back. Just insert all those sound effects there. There's fireworks, they're blasting. We're ready to go. Regular season cross country is here finally. I got my little taste of cross country this past weekend. I went down to Rose Tree Park, watched a couple of my former athletes running in college for the Bryn Mawr Invitational. It was a pretty cool setup to see the colleges race on a local course, even though the course is a lot different than the Delco course. It's great to see these athletes going out there and giving their best, but I'm not here to talk about college. I'm here to talk about the regular season high school program of Delaware County cross country. Yes, I call September the regular season, even though we have meets that are hosted in August. I still call them those preseason meets. You had the Delco scrimmage, which sadly I could not be there with the change of time and the heat conditions. I could not be at the Delco scrimmage like I wanted to be, but I saw some great pictures. I saw some great results. And once again, another great meet hosted by those great coaches of Delaware County. There were other meets that went on during that August month as well, like the Oakbourne Relays. The Oakbourne Relays really just went out there, and you saw teams like Ridley and Pencrest really step in. Pencrest, where the top Delco team finished, kind of weird when it comes to relay meets. Because Pencrest was second overall behind Henderson, but when they do these relay meets, it's kind of more for depth, where there are four different relay teams, and they total up the time, kind of looking among the four best relay potential. So you're looking at 8 guys, and the best 8 guys were the ones they're replacing. So you saw really the depth of Pencrest as well as the depth of Westchester Henderson, who looks like they're back this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Pencrest was led by Rowan Carr and Cruiser. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Kruzaleski. You guys need better last names for me. These last names are so hard to pronounce for me all the time. And I know I've talked to Pencrest a number of times, and I really need to get this down. You guys were the fourth fastest relay time at a time of 20:41. It was actually the dynamic duo of Ridley's Jackson Kane and Joey Lancey that had their best overall finish time among all of the relay teams. They put in at sub 10 combined. That was a 19:58 in a 2-mile relay at the Oakbourne Relay. So Ridley going out there, showing that their top guys are ready to roll, and seeing where this depth is going to go down the road. Once again, these are two teams I'm keeping my eye on throughout this entire season. Preseason wise, they showed out already. Jackson K, Joey Lancey ready to take that next step. On the girls' end, you had Garner Valley's Rachel Hicks and Avery Lustgard, and they were 8th fastest time overall. With Ridley, they were the 14th overall time, with a freshman on the relay in Cecilia Kane, as well as Joy Anawachi teaming up in that one. Joy, once again, I apologize for butchering your last name. If I did, hopefully I can fix that down the road. Joy is an overall top athlete in Delaware County. Getting to see her race a lot last year in track and field was very impressive. So just seeing how she's going to break out in this cross-country season, especially where she can put a freshman like Cecilia Kane under her wing and bring her to the next level, that's going to be very important going forward. And that's also a very important plot point as we head into the regular season in September. There's a bunch of meets going on this weekend, and I kind of broke down the 3 that Delaware County goes to a lot. And there are 3 that's common in the opening weekend. Once again, it's a weird time in Delaware County cross country, with Delco Championships going to be held in September, on September 29th at Rose Tree Park. So now it leads to the question of what coaches are going to do leading into this Delco Championship in September. There are 3 meets, like I said, that these Delco teams usually go to, and just because I have some history, I also looked at the Mill Street Run and looked at, and Michelle Bonner and Prendy is racing there. So I'm going to have a comment on that one. But there are 3 meets that are common, like I said, that Delco teams go to. It is Abington Invitational, where we will see the O'Hara boys, the Chester boys, the O'Hara girls, the Chester girls, and the Episcopal girls in that one. You will have the Unionville 2-mile bash, which will include teams like Upper Darby, Sun Valley, Delco Christian, Garnet Valley, Haverford, Pencrest, Ridley, Strathaven, and the Radnor girls. And then you have the PTXC, which is one of those great opening debut meets, and it's really got a lot of heat the past couple of years, where it's become one of the better ones in the area. That is a team from Marple Newtown who will be running at the PTXC meet. So once again, there's a lot of things going on this weekend, a lot of things to break down going forward into Delco Cross Country, and you're going to see a lot of teams not making their debuts this week, and a lot of teams making their debuts this week. So we're going to break that down. I think I'm going to do the podcast a little differently this year. I don't think I'm going to break down and go over the results of every single meet like I did last year. Kind of ran overtime at times. I'm going to try to get in those dual meets like Central League meets and Catholic League meets. But I'm going to focus on those invitationals. So the first thing I'm looking at in these invitationals, the first thing I'm noticing is I am going to look at the Abington Invitational first. And my question, Chester is one of those teams that could have a good cross-country season. They kind of build it for depth when it comes to cross-country going into the track season. I could see them doing the same thing there. The Cardinal O'Hara girls, they're trying to rebuild that program. They're trying to rebuild and bring something new to that. They're going to be led by an Aaron Bray in this one. And O'Hara girls have 5 teams going in that meet. And then the team to watch at the Abington Invitational is going to be the Episcopal girls. They're the team to clearly watch in this one, see where their depth goes, see if they bring in anyone special, see how this team performs, because they're going to be one of those teams that's going to surprise some people. I'm going to move on to Unionville Bash, and there's teams that I'm watching. I'm specifically watching the boys race. I'm going to watch Haverford, Pencrest, Ridley, and Strathaven go out and race and really duel for that top spot. I want to see where they're going. I want to see that depth. Like I've said, I talked about Pencrest and Ridley already. Let's see where those 5 are. I'm very intrigued. And Haverford's boys team, they're the team that's getting better each and every week. They're the team that's surprising me each and every week. On the girls' end, you clearly have to look out for Haverford. You clearly have to watch that team from Haverford. There's no Olivia Cieslak, it looks like, this week. But you still want to look out for that team. And you want to see where depth of Radnor is in this situation, where they're going to be coming back from losing a state medalist. At the Mill Street Run, you have a team of Bonner and Prendy going. And Bonner and Prendy, they're on a rebuild on a distance end right now as well. See where they take things on the girls' end. If they're going to be building up more of that sprint program and using cross-country for that, like I said, Chester might be. But on the boys' end, you're going to see guys like Donnie Cave and Josh Knox-Wagner, and they're going to take that program over, and they're going to bring it to a next level, and potentially bring in like a Daniel Stevens. Bonner Prendy boys are going to be a team to look out for, especially when it comes to like a District 12 type championship meet. So I would not be surprised if they drop some times and surprise people this year. At PTXC, you're looking at Marple Newtown. They're the lone Delco team competing in this one. Like I said, this is usually one of the more exciting opening season meets. Boys and girls are kind of in a similar point of this year. They're looking for a varsity 7, and they have a lot of depth, especially on the men's end, especially on the boys' end. And if they can pack run, they can easily come away with a top 7. On the girls' end, you're looking at that dynamic duo of Allie Pavone and Lizzie Getz clearly for Marple Newtown. But as I'm taking a look back, as I'm taking a step back, I'm going to see where Marple can build from last year, because last year was a great performance from them. They've, once again, Delaware County Championships, they really showed out. I want to see where that depth now goes. My eyes are going to be on people like a Jonica Wonk, a Kerry Lynn Cunningham, and Aaron Patterson, and Small. And sorry, I don't have your first name on me right now. I thought I did. Messed that one up completely. I'm sorry, Coach Butler. But those are the girls I am keeping my eyes open for That would be Sadie Small. I apologize, Sadie. Those are the people that I'm keeping my eyes on. I want to see where that depth comes from Marple Newtown and see if this summer training paid off for those, especially those back, especially when it comes to numbers 3 through 6. See where they're coming. It's a busy weekend in Delaware County. A few quick meets. I'm going to try to get you the best performances of those meets, rank the top teams as the season goes on. If you want to see those preseason rankings, those well too early preseason rankings, I already posted that podcast on the season debut, the season premiere. This is episode 2 of the DELCO Cross Country Podcast. If you have any questions, please make sure you just follow me on Twitter or Instagram, DELCO XC Pod. You can also email me, delcoxcpod@gmail.com. I'm here to listen. I'm here to read. I'm here for your opinions. I have coaches all the time coming up to me and talking about the podcast. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for season 2 of the Delco Cross Country Podcast, and I think you should be too. Get ready to go. I want to give a couple shout-outs. My Instagram takeover, Sarah and Olivia Seaside crushed it a couple weeks ago when they took over the Instagram page of the Delco XC Pod. Crushed it. If you want to see those are those sub-stories on that Delco XC Pod Instagram account. If you want to take over, especially for a meet, love to have you. Just reach out to me, send me a DM. Make sure your coach, you have your coach's permission to take over the Delco Cross Country Podcast Instagram for that day. I'd love to see it. It'd be a great time for everybody, especially when it comes to meet season. This is a quick hitter. This is season 2, episode 2. And this is Kevin Key, and I'm going to be signing off, and I'm going to say, opening me of the season, make sure you get up those hills and you move.